fist fucking your dying rectal passage. My victims are disfigured, ill-fated meat for the death bringer. Like a tribal surgeon, my compulsive amputations, a ritual destruction so sacred and profane. I excoriate your pink bits, drinking shits from the bowels, masturbating their remains. With pus stripping out your foul anal canal, I'm murdering your genitals, rape your brains. I'm a snuff fucking anatomist of the cervical variety. I like fresh blood dieting to cure my sobriety. My cruel tortured incisions forcing me to auto-cannibalism. You swallow your excised testicles to expiate your sins. Your corpse is purified in the pool of maggots. I'll drink from your broken skull chalice. Vaginal meat and asses. You're the leech's gutted innards of my sexual apparatus as I'm fist fucking your carcass. I drink the spores of bloody labour, rectally imported from the fetus arts carnage with a razor amidst the dying infant vapors. Such erotic embryonic narcotics, amputated limbs, curvaceous on the flesh-eating corpse, penetrating scat binge. In my private butcher shop, slurry brega whore, smell the awful stench of my swollen cock. At the chopping block I dissipate the innards after dinner. Your rotten meat aroma lingers. Your vagina's punctured with daggers and eaten like haggis. Ravage cut splatter, I'm draining the carcass's bladder. I torment the orifice glands, crushing your fake tits. And your penny soft vomit sticks, getting sliced to bits. Your balls are crushed between two bricks. The rape sacrificial corpses, saturated with the hairy big lords, putrefying shit. Sliced up cunt lip, sucking my pork. Spill the dead ass sauce. Dying anal flesh distorts when I fist fuck your corpse. Sliced up cunt lip, sucking my pork. Spill the dead ass sauce. Dying anal flesh distorts when I fist fuck your corpse. You're sucking your own feces from my throbbing penis while you're gagging on the rank bacterial vaginosis with nails in your pussy's ring of roses. Eat the wart-infected vulva. I'm addicted to penetrating your rotten anal flesh. After maggots start to infest, my erection is at one with the Lord of Flies and the Book of Lies. Manifesting, the corpse molesting, assorted and the testing. As it crack gapes, the holy crusade of your gay gate with a day grade. Meat display for me to slay and get laid. Skull fucking tantric cerebral rape. It's erotic biting chunks off your butcher smelling date, which I obliterate the pieces of your brain I chew when your blood is drained through a plastic tube. Then the pumping gastric mixtures are reconstrued to make lube so I can fuck your bleeding wounds. You're lying dead with your legs spread, eye sockets given head. Now my knuckle sandwich is force fed till it's rectally digested. Punch fuck the scalpel fashioned orifice. Wash down the innards with a pint of piss. It's sadistic bliss and a hunger for a morbid fix. So I stuff the bleeding arse lips with my double fist. Masturbate the dam of your intestines on my gore splattered dick. You're embalmed, mummified and stuffed with shit in the temple of the cane human waste. The remains of my victims dried out, it's a ground to a paste. It justifies my hunger for the decomposing butchered anal taste. Sliced up cunt lip, sucking my pork. Spill the dead ass sauce. Dying anal flesh distorts when I fist fuck your corpse. Sliced up cunt lip, sucking my pork. Spill the dead ass sauce. Dying anal flesh distorts when I fist fuck your corpse. All flesh is launched in the face. Degraded cut muffs bleeding in honor of my seed's arrival. Garroted dirty slag till her head sags. Nearly decapitated in a last fight for survival. Every last standing collars dripping chism up to follow rectal artery fisting. I found the taste for anal bloody ribbon dead women. I've got flats of rectal meat and human trophies in my kitchen. A nice collection of genitals out on the walls and ceiling. And sometimes I nail the meat of my own pain and anguish. My dick veins sprays, your ass is damaged. My victim's eyeballs tangle between their own ass cheeks. For anal jewelry, I pull my meat on the deceased as the guns excrete. Sexually condemned bodily functions, a service to my cock eruption. Multiple knife punches in reverse, acts of clean abduction.
Rip your limbs from your torso. Up down, I stepped with a knife and I took a life. Third degree burns from his first degree murder spree. Chopping my brain, stick my knife up your bitches tuna. Rip your limbs from your torso. Up down, I stepped with a knife and I took a life. Third degree burns from his first degree murder spree. Chopping my brain, stick my knife up your bitches tuna.
My nuts in pain, constantly in need of sucking and fondling. Induced testicular vomiting, amateur Scat erotica. Compilation virgins, I thrust my diarrhea cock in her. Infested with gonorrhea, dividing a nut sack full of semen on the septic facial mess. Open up your mouth and turn the best fresh to a jazz. A barrel full of nothing less. Dominate slut for my shit fetish conquest. Smear your breast and digest. Dry rich, try the stomach, that's a test. Copulate with words, ejaculate for the disturbed, sexually perverse. Act of sodomy with a mouth full of turds. You drink my bladder dry with your lips drip and sperm. I orchestrate orgies, expressing my hunger for raw meats. Olivia with sore cheeks, erosion is poor seat. Forcing my cock deep, throws bastard and edging a chasm. I'm feeding your labia salad, never stops till my prick is damaged.
Rip your limbs from your torso. Up down, I stepped with a knife and I took a life. Third degree burns from his first degree murder spree. Chopping my brain, stick my knife up your bitches tuna. Rip your limbs from your torso. Up down, I stepped with a knife and I took a life. Third degree burns from his first degree murder spree. Chopping my brain, stick my knife up your bitches tuna.
Anus fuck to your rectum, dripping blood and your fisted cunts. Encrusted with my borchard. Blood, sperm and shit is the flavor of love. Drinking from my penis as it sprays from above. Your luscious blood curves into rain with cuts. Paint your face with your bruised parts and screen of mud. As a colonic facial scrub vomit as you suck. I'll massage the diarrhea mask into your soft skin with my penis cleared. Hard and enhanced, no hands. My meat surpasses your erotic demands. I'm a primitive gynecologist, fulfilling superficial promises. Your flesh is appropriated and left anonymous, then sent to the coroners. Your vaginal byproducts are treated for human consumption. Beating you in a concussion, leaving you lacking your bodily functions. Amputations, erotic destruction. A monster pig meat with a pair of razors for reconstruction. Cuts perfecting your labia for my penis suction.
Rip your limbs from your torso. Up down, I stepped with a knife and I took a life. Third degree burns from his first degree murder spree. Chopping my brain, stick my knife up your bitches tuna. Chopping my brain, stick my knife up your bitches tuna.
From the naked bodies, suspended for the cultivation of ovaries. Your feeble and deceased victims to atrocity, with friction and velocity, exuding the spores of a buggery. With my phallic deformity, subincise my organ for the sexual enormity. Then my bifid cock fills a dripping void awkwardly. I pollute the organs with my seed to fertilize the meat forcibly. Tear the muscular fibers as an offensive urinous odor is exhaled. The large murderous penis will impale the erotic expulsion of the fetus. After involution of the womb, I'm gonna come soon. The flatulent distension of the bowels quenches the needs of my scat thirsty mouth with the arse ripped out. Shower in my piss and protruded diarrhea, drenched in my feces as you disemboweled. I can smell your twat dripping wet cunt mucus. I fist your tight slit till the pink lips loosen. My penis has a juice ready for the pussy pounding and anal abuse. My semen drips at the rectum as the shit's expelled. As always, the sight and smell of excrement makes my hairy knob swell. I looked at labia smeared with the manure. The delicious septic morsels on cup passions endure. It's polysurgical addiction to cure my affliction. The prick strangling anal punishment during the thick of fucking nourishment. The dysfunctional nerve terminal of my suicidal genitals. Mutilation of the raw meat surrender it is edible. You'll learn that the power of a hard cock is incredible, and the domination of a victim's torn orifice is inevitable. As the pubic mounds are punctured and fitted with a tube in close proximity to the bladder, you drain of vital essence during love making lessons. flesh bleeds for corrections to attain sexually empowering perfection. Erotic dissection as amends dispensers, vaginal death cleansers. Scat infused necrophilia heightens my senses. My blood soaked penis is throbbing hard as it tenses. Lubricated with the shit and bollocks that enters bleeding placentas. I kill a slut, then I rip her clothes off. The vaginal meat's always well disposed of. Drenched in the septic with their broken skulls emptied. My device is for invasive pelvic surgery and methods of bladder draining, colonic perjury. With my spermaries, bloated warm capillaries. It's missing in the culinary and buggery. I'm transcending all reality as I indulge in anal murdering. I pierced the transvaginal pocket with a suture fitted to the cavity of your cum socket. You struggle when you're on my cutting anvil. I tighten the clamps to make your twitching cunt lips stand still. It's amateur performance of endocervical biopsies, making gore beyond necropsy. Reinvent the passage with the flesh-eating acids. You'll be disemboweled with just a few quick splashes. Bitches fantasize about giving head to me. I fuck their brains out and give them a home hysterectomy. I fix the vacuum to drain the blood from the vaginal opening. The semen summoning's demeaning with a facial soaking, with razors on my cock ring for the patient's unwilling. Colonic drilling, ejaculate the semen in the broken rectal frigging as I'm watching the blood and turd juices spilling. It's sexually fulfilling with a scat and pornographic killing. Your flesh with bullshit. When I score, I fuck, I slip my weapon into the clip compartment. Rear ends are departed as I spill my jism onto the carcass. I'm just started when I'm carving. Your pink furry slops cough the juice and drippings from my cock rod. Stabbed in the G-spot as you give a 7-head job. You get your limbs locked off as I'm sucked on. I'm tossing on your meat chops. Ejaculate when your heart stops. Pump the blood inside your rectum, giving up the anal pulse rate. Gulls break from my prostate, sperm paste. Spraying white serpent venom on your raped face. It takes the shit taste of the bleeding date and jade gated, meaty warm semen bringing death's fate. It's a prehistoric law to keep decaying colonic walls. Lubricious and engorged so the blood cells pour. The anal aperture's forced into expulsion of destroyed organs. To drink from the exquisite urinal and the fecal backdoor. Loose bowel whore, I'm well acquainted with Madam Shit. Her lips are dripping cock and ass morsels. Swallowing the parcel from her asshole. Curb crawling scat wench with sphincter sauce covered breasts. Tortured with a nipple wrench. Her sliced up buttocks have a nice blood and shit stench. Severed cocks are nailed to bleeding pussies on my workbench. Scat slaves are dismembered on the dung stained altars. My vision never falters. It takes a soda to clean out all the yeast cultures. I'm not repressed by sexual repulsion. I devour the rotten flesh just like a vulture. Abscess penetration to convulsions, licking your semen-soaked ulcers in a snuff-laden orgy of ultraviolet penis motions. Tight labia mandibles eat my meat cleaver, expanding your vaginal shreddings from ankle to beaver. Crush rotten organs into pulp for your splattered cunt to envelope. Ingest the waste with the deformed prison of your muff. Absorb attrition from the cervix up, leaking pig semen from 1,000 cuts. Interrupt the blood flow, inject the nectar from my enema and sever the cranium. Masturbate organs as I'm draining them for dessert. Arse and uterus preserved, make a delicious conserve from the badly burned genitals and turds. I thrust my erect penis to the blood spurts. Guts churn and vomit dismisses. As the fish you misses, I take pictures. Eat fish slices of bitches, hung, drawn and quartered in septic ditches. Bushpig fornication Olympus. I collect backpackers' organs and carve the flesh into contortions. My penis will make you nauseous, sexually arousing rotten women's incisions. Penetrated to release semen emissions in victims. Watch as the erotic cats are molested in Gore vision. Every carcass tells a story with a rotten flesh and foul stench. Cold and pink disfigured ornaments, lifeless yet descriptive imprints. Bleeding wounds, scars, burns and fractures. Murderous tortures are reenacted, shown from the way that your skull's impacted. My simple solution to life's confusion. Your violent death is ablution, or an aid for the sickly amusements. Like the multiple cuts on the dead woman's cut. Trademark incisions made in the flesh of a dirty slut. After nailing the bleeding eyelid shut, disemboweled, hung, drawn and quartered, and pure and condemned means seek to be slaughtered. Your life is aborted and abused by the sick and the morbid. Butchering on the death wheel, innocent delicate bodies are broken and skewered on the cold steel. Sipping away to rotten skin pills to reveal the congealed blood of meats at the fashionable meal at the moment of brain death. Irreversible cessation, my murderous creations of trophies after decapitation. I'll keep you rotten pussy for my penis penetration. Fresh the meat and cut, acid burns your face and cunt. Make your organs perfect to be sodomized, reconstruct. Dumb bitches like their flesh was made of plastic. Stretch the anus like elastic. My knife will make you more attractive. I throttle the bitch in the neck, squeeze out blubber as I inject, tranquilizing my brain, then I dissect and perfect, making my cervical masterpieces with acidic modulations of skin. Labia minora held taut with the aids of nails and pins. I torture the slaves with a scalpel inserted to enlarge your breasts. Forced mammary modification aids for the violent anal sex. It's penetration of torn-ass flesh as the burning forms the contours for my erotic appreciation. Pussy eating clitoris castration, aggravation of pain is a new vaginal sensation. My victims are regularly modified to appease the minds of the sick. I indulge in morbid operations just to form a detachable clit. Now your new bladder's constructed to arouse my drive for fetish. The urethral upgrading, combining all of the childbearing elements with off-cuts and dead corpses, genital remnants left with a lack of ocular functions. Rhyme scalpel renditions to enable the vaginal suction when I punctures. Infant's labia sewn on the open wounds, making a new point of entry for the organ copulation. Your large intestines take the abusive penis thrusts, ejaculate semen into your twitching guts. You're just one of my homemade sluts, with parts of fetus and dogs attached. You're barely alive, yet able to reach a state of sexual climax. Is true satisfaction altering imperfections of human form, mutilating multiple slaves to produce the plastic snuff porn. Cosmetic erotic conceptions of raw meat in an orgy of sperm-soaked gore. Fresh the meat and cut, acid burns your face and cunt. Make your organs perfect to be sodomized, reconstruct. Dumb bitches bitches like their flesh was made of plastic. Stretch the anus like elastic. My knife will make you more attractive. Fresh the meat and cut. Acid burns your face and cuts. Make your organs perfect to be sodomized. Reconstruct dumb bitches like their flesh was made of plastic. Fresh the anus like elastic. My knife will make you more attractive. My man-meat resembles your regurgitated entrails. Your bleeding ass is about. I extract the cut nectar while you're anally impaled. Seven soft cocks getting out. Obsessed for gore porn and started the genital war. I like to fuck the erotic twat of a corpse. Death is oozing out my pores. While you're dying, used to come to my ball penis sauce. You suck my paraphrenial glands. Force to lick the shit off my soiled pants. I'll dismiss all my feeling piss on your luscious lips. I drool as my meat cleavers hacking you to bits. Your body's lying dismembered in the dirt while my crooked penis enters. Fucking the remains and chewing the brains as the stirred pornographic mutilation. Scat snuff and cause penetration. Your tiny virgin vaginas twitch as my stiff rotten dick blows semen on your half-eaten clits. Rectal pumping anal torture with your own severed limbs. After the stump copulating sperm swallowing, you're still alive as you're getting skinned. With my creamy seed dripping off your chin, I bury you loose, eating abused refuse in the fat of rotten flesh and your drained rectal juice. Destroyed anal flesh formed the mandala for my ejaculating sperm summoning. The cause of death is a murderous penis gratifying fatalist. Perversions of a sick and depraved sadist. My obsessed cannibal fetish is the catalyst. I eat the vaginal cheese when you form a flavor pussy bleeds. I like to dine on the fine red wine like it's caviar. Then my scimitar certifies the portions of your dead ass. The cesspool of the sacred vessel. The meat clutches tight to the cold-blooded cohesion. Then after death, excrement is your eternal prison. I had to slaughter and eat that bitch, cause she didn't like the taste of my shit. Suck the birds off my dick, or get sodomized with a knife. It doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. I had to slaughter and eat that bitch, cause she didn't like the taste of my shit. Suck the birds off my dick, or get sodomized with a knife. It doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. I had to slaughter and eat that bitch, cause she didn't like the taste of my shit. Suck the birds off my dick, or get sodomized with a knife. It doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. I had to slaughter and eat that bitch, cause she didn't like the taste of my shit. Suck the turds off my dick, or get sodomized with a knife. It doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. I remember when I killed my girl. Remember swimming down at the water reserve. We copulated first. She had nice little bosoms and a tight fixed purse. I was ready to burst, but she didn't wanna eat my solid brown turds. I have a fetish for gore sex and diarrhea smeared labias, and nothing makes me happier. I guess I was ashamed at least until I strangled her. I smashed her face with a rock, blood and brains on my cock. Then I laid a big log of shit in a moist little twat. Dragged her down to my corrugated iron surgical workshop. I was feeling pretty hot. She was dead but erect and accommodated. Anus meat saturated, separated and degraded. As the colour of a pussy faded, I fucked her sexy ass cheeks till they split. It felt so amazing when her rectal passage twitched. My sperm filled the Gabriel brown pit. I was thrusting as a mix of her expelling shit, and the blood started to spit as the dying ass tissue was ripped. She was cold and lifeless. The timing was priceless, and the taste of his diarrhea marinated cunt was the nicest. Pickles fit the meat slices with blood and semen, best served cold with some bleeding rectal reaming. When I see a juicy pussy creaming, it always leaves a death scat, butchering and skin peeling. It's my sexual healing. My true love is raping a shattered cranium with my turds licking your deceased meat treats as the blood spurts, fingering the dripping anal pulp of asphyxiated slaves. My bladder's getting drained on your ugly skin face. Your ass will take my excrement and sperm to a septic grave. I had to slaughter and eat that bitch, cause she didn't like the taste of my shit. Suck the turds off my dick, or or get sodomized with a knife. It doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. I had to slaughter and eat that bitch, cause she didn't like the taste of my shit. Suck the turds off my dick, or get sodomized with a knife. It doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. I had to slaughter and eat that bitch, cause she didn't like the taste of my shit. Suck the turds off my dick, or get sodomized with a knife. It doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. I had to slaughter and eat that bitch, cause she didn't like the taste of my shit. Suck the turds off my dick, or get sodomized with a knife. It doesn't matter if you're dead or alive. Lubricate your palm. Screwed on a bait hook, knife in your car. Frictionless carcass to be real like charge. Left limbless and ready to palm. Torn skinless, blood lubricate your palm. Screwed on a bait hook, knife in your car. Frictionless carcass to be real like charge. Tied up victims of carnal tortures and sex slaughter, dismembered by my slow cutting movements, accompanied by my cock in your rectal tumor, my tongue in your anus, the shit's a throat soother. Aromatic aesthetic improvements aided with your stool stench, combined with your blood and vaginal elements. Bring my penis to new lengths to make your dying wound clench. Forceps articulated with sadistic concepts, dissect, impale the remains carefully, not to obstruct the genital's point of entry. I suck the rectum's empty, prepare the corpse, just like all my lovers that I dug up from the cemetery. I fuck anyone that's buried with a fresh meat aroma, can be nurtured and groomed just like in an healthy stoma. Cut the limbs off and bag it up, take the stump home and give it a new persona. Consecrate it with my boner, no arms, legs or head, she's a perfect lady, less irritating, with no forceful need for separating. With a double fist up a colon and there's no complaining. Left limbless and ready to pump. Torn skinless, blood lubricate your palm. Screwed on a bait hook, knife in your car. Frictionless carcass to be real like charge. Left limbless and ready to pump. Torn skinless, blood lubricate your palm. Screwed on a bait hook, knife in your car. Frictionless carcass to be real like charge. It's rare to fuck bitches that still breathe, give her tits a squeeze. Piss on a broken jaw and saw the legs off for the knees, and spray my seed in the blood-soaked ass cheeks. Spread your lips now if you don't want to be a dead star, or absorb all of my member till you're torn and deformed. Drinking piss at knife point, the cleaver drives above your elbow joints. Once your fingers are fitted with nails and barbed wire, abused by your own hands till your ass dies. I make an operating theatre of your cunt, the blood flows from the rectal sacrifice. You carve knives with an obsolete surgical device. Nevertheless, the blades and saws are kept in alignment. I'm slicing the freshest diamonds. Any slaps that suck cock are left with the meat divided. Now your limbless torso is me excited. Enormous erectile conditions, a load of bourgeism is provided. Bitch, I cut you for my hungry cock needs, and your death is already decided. My fantasies are sick, I'll never deny it. All females need an amputation just to keep them quiet.
You're my stump.
Left limbless and ready to pump. Torn skinless, blood lubricate your palm.
You're my stump.
Screwed on a bait hook, knife in your car. Frictionless carcass to be real like charge.
You're my stump.
Left limbless and ready to pump. Torn skinless, blood lubricate your palm.
You're my stump.
Screwed on a bait hook, knife in your car. Frictionless carcass to be real like charge. scrotum, but it's the best method of choking and leaving mouths broken. Child labour head first and screaming. The first taste quenching the thirst for life with a spray of semen. You probably think this shit perverse, but it's just what all your mortal scum deserves at the moment of birth. I smother the mother in soul lingerie. Every day fisting and scat play. I make the blood spill, sucking titties, squirting milk. I take a shit on the pregnant belly, deep through my penis with the piss expelling. Fuck the rectum till my cum squirts, inducing premature childbirth, quenching my blood thirst. My meat thrusts till it bursts on the solidified turds. Taste my vicious weapon of testicular venoms. I squeeze my cock syrup on your sliced up melons. Your lactating bosom's good for fetus lube as the womb beckons. In 1 second I cut you from your uterus to your rectum. Cesarean dissection helps the embryonic digestion. My sick intention serves as a serum of the slain fetus brain. It's a cure for my prick congestion. The child supported is strangled with motherly intestines. Umbilical asphyxiation on my cock mates. Unfathomable dimensions. The unborn us is punished by the big erection. Pregnant sluts for my snuff porn. Penis thrust in the aborted gore. Scalpel cut in the brains of a newborn. Fetus smut, the cavernous wombs torn. The unborn ass is the one with the mother flesh. Drink blood from the breast, a mouthful of afterbirth before death. The subdued anal meats consume the womb, anointed with cock spew and intestinal lube. The balance of life and death is confused when my erotic penis motion is introduced, accompanied with the sliced cut fruits and fetus juice. Wanking in delight of the creation of gore. Enigmatic visions of blood course from the open sores. Aromatic incisions in chud sauce, spraying with my scrotal force. My retractor dilates the quivering vaginal lips for this procedure. My meat probe drinks excretion into the bucket, designed to keep depth of fluids as I cut the cervical features. The remaining portions of the vaginal grape smeared with the embryonic excretion. At the operation's completion, the pliable pubic cervical fascia enables the urethral urinal fluids I presume to drink from the bladder. Piss nectar with placenta, embryonic brain matter. Fetus skull shatter as the nails of the colon meat bladder. Lifeless miniature organs feed the engorging rectal abortions. Wet shit and awful sources fit the extended proportions of my flesh puncturing penis, summoning the fetus to be eaten with an array of venereal diseases. Testicular pressure releases in the uterine lesions. Semen soaked abrasions in the carved out labia and anal regions. Pregnant sluts for my snuff porn. Penis thrust in the aborted gore. Scalpel cuts in the brains of a newborn. Fetus smut when the cavernous womb's torn. Pregnant slut for my snuff porn. Penis thrust in the aborted gore. Scalpel cuts in the brains of a newborn. Fetus smuts when the cavernous womb's torn. Butcher's Arab, using umbilical cords to keep my cock hard while I fuck dead pregnant bitches. My genitals are built to the flower human condor base. As the jisms release, I feast scorching on their mates. I'll not to lick sluts, blood from their cut lips down their feet. I grip the seven labias in my teeth, the blood-stained sheets, adorned with the carved erogenous streets. Force you to hear your own semen spray cheeks. It's snuff, porn, gore and sodomy. I'm armed with the seed of atrocity. My deformed oddity is possibly the sickest infection given anally and orally. You dumb slurries all gagging for a buggery. My penis oozes trying to pour the innards falling from your cunt's cavity. Strangling my meatworm, channeling the blood gods, delivering precise battery. Scalpel, hammer and chisel on my cutlery. Penetrating rectal walls, shower on the potent semen for all. Hanging dying horse on the rusty meat horse when my penis injects. Penetrate exterminated fetus with blood-stained forceps. Prying open the uterus for gore sex. Snort umbilical blood from the torn breasts. when I take the life of any gun that stands against us. I ritualize my sexual dominance to face each orifice. Vomit or rage from the ominous stench, snuffing you out. I drink blood from your gut to drought. I fix glands for oral constriction. I rip glands to feed my adrenal addiction. Your whole anatomy's used for stimulating abuse, simulating foreplay with a razor blade that helps to seduce. After butchering the anus to induce the colonic release of refuse.
I'm gonna crush your fucking dumb skull, clean you with ethanol, stab you in the guts and fill the body with holes. Slash your tummy up with shrapnel, I stretch and dismantle, cut the nerves and use the screams as samples. You're a mutilated receptacle, it's just sexual. Your brain fucked and retard with a damaged cerebral. You better shut your fucking dumb mouth, I'll break your snout. You got gums like a horse and your teeth have taken out. Wearing testosterone to the victor's crown, you're losing pounds. Push your head in the toilet bowl, hold it down till you drown. I got a shotgun to your head, explosive rounds. Watch your head bounce, pull my cock to the splattered sound. I slowly peel that soft oil skin, you feel everything. I get high from my words like I'm jacked up on heroin. You wanna get the butcher's diagnostic, you're fucking toxic. Your innards are black and your heart is septic, necrotic. Smash the cranium with a sledgehammer and watch the splatter. Remove the ovaries and mix them along with the bladder. It's your pain and fear I engineer. I slice you from ear to ear, the pioneer, cutting you up like a deer. Bend you over and stuff your ass with a hand grenade. Need a time display, paint the walls like a meat splattered lemonade. I got my tools to perform an anal autopsy. You're a hopeless wannabe, so your tongue raped and brutalized like a murdered refugee. Cutting up your dog splatter helps my psychology. I'm bringing equality, the meats are the same as the mega colony. Break the rest of your limbs with a wooden baseball bat. A brutal attack, leave your skull and jaw smashed. Cover my cock in the leftover spinal liquid. I have a sickness, guts and brain everywhere. The finger twitches, found the remains of your brains with a blender. I'm making a tender. When I'm finished, the course won't have a fucking gender. All I wanna see is brain and guts splatter.
Talking about two people who literally plumb the depths of human depravity.
Mutilated children in front of me, and I mean eviscerated one, decapitated the other.
That is the most sick idea of a human being.
To succeed in sadistic sexual homicide.
I cut your faces with razors and stuff the wounds of human feces. My penis stands upright like a blood-borne parasite, and erectile infections fuel my sordid appetite for the life of the murderous sodomite. I'm armed with a machete, bringing the sick forms of violence. A torturous tyrant, my blades ripping the virgin's hymens, drinking urinations of the helpless slaves when dying. Performing illegal surgery that leads to sexual temptation. On many occasions, operations lead to insemination of patients. The invalids drugged up for rectal experiments are ripping the pestilence, leaving no trace of evidence. Your ass is left in an disintegrating existence. It's defilement of victims. I'm molesting the dead when they got their severed legs spread. I rip the embryonic cunts apart, stabbing the victim's broken heart. Toss my cock in the bleeding heart. I fuck hard till the meat sockets are ripped in half. Urinating on your dead cunt. My semen up your bleeding anus. Bleeding anus. Urinating on your dead cunt. Dead cunt. Cunt. Suck my semen up your bleeding anus.
Mit Fingernägeln wird das Herz durchbohrt, die Ohren abgeschnitten, aufgespießt an einem Stahlrohr. Ich fütter dich mit deiner Haut, ne große Portion. Mein Urin ist für dich wie eine Körperlotion. Bukkake Baron startet die Operation. Kastration, Deformation, Penetration, Mutation. Dein Busch wird gefegt, von mir und Bushpig. Schambehaarung abgebrannt, Schluss mit lustig. Die Knochen werden zermalmt, fein und crispy. Der Kopf abgetrennt, die Schädeldecke wird zum Frisbee, ich pisse auf die gesamte Menschheit. Ich stopf dein Maul und werde scheiße, wenn du nicht aufhörst zu schreien. Perpetuum mobile, aus Körperteilen R.O.D. und Butchers Harem. Armee der kranken Schweine, egal ob dominant oder unterwürfig. Wir kommen mit dem Schlachtermesser und schneiden dich in kleine Würfel. Himmel, Schimmel, kleiner Totenbirsch.
Ihre Fäkalien sind unsere Fressalien. Unsere Fressalien.
Himmel, Schimmel, kleiner Totenbirsch. Schimmel, kleiner Totenbirsch. Totenbirsch.
Ihre Fäkalien sind unsere Fressalien.
Breaking beats on your face. Breaking beats on your face. Breaking beats on your face. Just pump your guts out, get my nuts out, break the fuck up. Breaking beats on your face. Breaking beats on your face. Just pump your guts out, get my nuts out, break the fuck up.
Your mint is butchered and bled out with a slit throat. Gynecological instruments are blood soaked. Rapid cleaver slashes leave deep gashes. Now your brain's fruit for my black masses. Turn the remaining corpses to ashes. When I filled my appetite, digest choice cut the liver and rub. Carved down to a stump and skinned in superficial parts. Like their face or their cuts. Redesigning victims' corpses. Others live to be tortured. Rearrange the flesh, collect organs. Assorted trophies of the aborted. Faces children of misfortune. Carved out with distorted proportions. Human flesh is food for the immortal. The elixir of eternal butchery. Orally drained arteries. Attaining correct dimensions of flesh. Altering with barbaric weaponry. On your knees you cop the seed of disease. Swallow all the G's and fill my sick fuck knees. Licking my nuts as I eat your pussy creams. Warm flowing red streams of your war flavored wet dreams. I'm morbid with sexual sorted ingestible. Genital meat is edible. Uteral tissues nutritious seminal chunks of your cerebral and cunts. Eaten like spreadable cheese. Force your head down in my trough to eat the low grade pig feed. I'm tearing pieces of the hair in my teeth when I spit chunks of cunt. Liberated from pain when I up chunks spunk from my blue vein stump. I burst capillaries to the end of my gnome-shaped artillery. Ass pillaging, excessive fuck trips to swim in. Anal drippings, Bukaki juice coats the torn throats of all women. Full cunt ripping, lips turn pale and the colour of your mouth turns faint. Aggravate your big bits, spread the mucus dripping blood stains. Recite a fake orgasm when your hole's full of pain. Dirty recycled meat clenches cause your plastic wenches. Reproductive trenches full of vaginal bacteria. Scraping out the withered used uteral interior. With my cum fueled raw plastic cum. My own grade specimen. Cleaning out your poverty stricken and inferior genitalia. A pouring flood of chud in your bruised up blood. Drink from the bottomless cup. Filled with the blood of sacrificial sluts. With venereal flavors of a moist pink cut. Flesh burns like the ulcers in your loose vaginal pit. Drink the septic toxins from my cock veins and spit. Fill every mouth with my scrote surplus. Dry wretch, choke and suffocate. I spew utter hate when I separate your tight date. Eat a slice of your ass bugger cake. Turn your brown hole to a pearly white gate. When I spray, you're in heaven but I still spread them. Indulging sick endeavours. All game playing slag. Slurp excretion and their limbs are severed. Left maggot ridden and beheaded. Arms missing stuff, born for Armageddon. The final masterpiece of gore, sex and violent pleasure. Mortal flesh and blood abuse beyond any human measure.
petty rubbish to murder, arson, malicious wounding. I know, I like a blowtorch, you know? The smell of burning flesh in the air.
This old rifle, she ain't pretty. I'll go over and raise her back. Yeah, even a 20-foot salty. Knock one over with a single shot. You know what my weapon of choice is? Bowie knife. Right. You know why? Because you can kill silent. So you didn't see it coming, eh, love?
We got stabbed with a 8.5-inch butcher's knife here. Just all sorts of things. Twice there. Ice pick straight through the heart there. Stanley knife across there. Stanley knife across there. Stanley knife. Stanley knife. Stanley knife here. Bullet hole here. Ice pick here. Stanley knife.